In the electric heart of Rio de Janeiro, where rhythm meets heritage and sequins shimmer brighter than city lights, one woman commands the parade with fire in her steps and history in her soul, Luara Bombom. As the Primera Princesa do Carnival do Rio 2022 and the revered Queen of Passistas at GRS Acadêmicos do Salgueiro, Luara is not just a dancer, she is an icon. Her story is not just about samba, but about power, representation, and an unwavering dedication to Brazilian culture. Early rhythm, a childhood shaped by samba. Luara's story begins not in spotlights or accolades, but in the community rodas, the humble neighborhoods where samba lives in every footstep and heartbeat. Born into a culturally rich family that embraced the sounds of Afro-Brazilian drums and the sway of carnival rhythms, Luara's passion was lit early. She took her first samba steps before she could fully form sentences, mimicking the elegance of passistas with the curiosity of a child mesmerized by movement. Her family noticed quickly. She didn't just dance, she became the rhythm. At just 5 years old, Luara began performing at local samba events. Her presence on stage was magnetic, even then. By the time she was in her early teens, she was already a featured dancer in community samba groups, mastering the intricate footwork and sensual energy of samba no pé. What set her apart wasn't only talent, it was discipline. While others rehearsed for hours, Luara would double that. She treated samba like an art form, a responsibility, and even then, she knew it was her path. She was also encouraged by community leaders, older passistas, and dance instructors who saw in her the embodiment of samba's future. Her passion was nurtured not just by applause, but by shared cultural wisdom, making her foundation deeply rooted in respect for the past. The rise of a carnival royalty. The journey from talented child to Rio Carnival royalty is not a straight line. It demands endurance, political savvy, unshakable self-confidence, and a body that can perform like an athlete while radiating effortless beauty. Luara delivered on every front. She entered the world of samba schools early, aligning herself with some of the most competitive and prestigious groups. Her big break came when she was selected to be part of the Comissão de Frente da Portela in 2019, under the legendary direction of Carlinhos de Jesus. Their performance stunned spectators, earning the group the coveted Estandarte de Ouro, one of the highest honors in Rio's carnival. This was more than a performance. It was a proclamation. Luara Bombom had arrived. Soon after, she was crowned Queen of Passistas at Salgueiro, a role reserved for the most talented and influential female dancers in a samba school. The queen is the spirit of the school. She represents power, sensuality, and tradition. And Luara wore that crown not just with beauty, but with purpose. In 2022, her trajectory reached another level when she was crowned Primera Princesa do Carnival do Rio, placing her among the most visible and respected women in the entire carnival ecosystem. It was a recognition of talent, yes, but also of her dedication to samba as a cultural legacy. Stage after stage, dancing with legends. Luara's talent has taken her far beyond the Sambadrome. She has danced alongside icons of Brazilian music: Ludmilla, Zandy de Pilares, Dudu Nobre, Belo, Jojo Todinho, Hoka, and Nego do Borel. In every performance, she doesn't just support the stars, she becomes one herself. She brings samba into music videos, live tours, and global stages, always maintaining the authenticity of the dance while adding her own fire. Her movements are pure, sharp, hypnotic. And yet, she dances not to impress, but to express. She tells a story of a culture born from resistance and celebration. She has also appeared in commercials, documentaries, and music shows as a cultural ambassador, bridging the mainstream and the traditional. Her mission to prove that samba isn't just background, it's the main act. Mentorship and legacy building. For Luara, samba is not a solo journey, it's a circle. What she has received, she gives back. She leads workshops around the world, from Brazil to Europe to North America. In these sessions, she does more than teach choreography. She teaches roots. She speaks about samba's Afro-Brazilian origins, its ties to spiritual practices, its evolution from marginalized spaces into mainstream pride. Many of her students come expecting to learn steps. They leave transformed, with a deeper understanding of samba as resistance, identity, and community. She often says, "I don't just teach how to move your feet, I teach how how to feel the rhythm in your bones. Through social media, she shares stories of past Samba queens, highlights underrepresented dancers, and gives visibility to community-based Samba projects. Her Instagram is not just curated beauty, it's an archive of culture, movement, and meaning. She also mentors young girls from favelas, offering them a vision of empowerment through art. Her scholarship program, Raízes do Samba, provides access to training, mentorship, and costuming for those who can't afford the path. Advocacy and representation. As a Black woman in a country still marked by racial and gender inequalities, Luara knows the political power of her presence. She does not shy away from using her crown to speak out. She is vocal about the lack of Black representation in major entertainment platforms, the underfunding of cultural projects, and the fetishization of Samba dancers in international media. In interviews, she calls for systemic change. Being beautiful is not enough. We need to be respected. We are artists, athletes, educators. We are the guardians of a cultural treasure. Luara partners with NGOs and public institutions to push for inclusive cultural policies. She participates in panel discussions and contributes to academic forums on Afro-Brazilian identity and gender in Samba. Her dance is political, and her activism is personal. She has been invited to speak at universities and international cultural festivals, using her platform to address deeper issues about body politics, racial identity, and how traditional art forms can fight inequality. She often draws parallels between Samba and other diasporic movements, showing that rhythm is a language of resistance everywhere. Training like a queen. Behind the glamour is a grueling routine. Luara trains like an Olympic athlete. She begins her days with cardio, running, cycling, or HIIT, then strength training, then Samba drills. Hours of repetition until every spin is razor sharp and every step looks effortless. She follows a strict nutrition plan and takes recovery seriously. Stretching, massage, hydration, meditation. You can't lead a parade of thousands if you don't train like it's your championship, she once posted. This dedication is what gives her that surreal stamina during Carnival, where she dances under blazing heat in costumes that can weigh over 10 kilos. Injury prevention, breath control, hydration strategies, and even vocal projection are part of her daily discipline. She treats her work with the professionalism of a ballerina, the intensity of a sprinter, and the heart of a cultural warrior. Cultural fusion and creative projects. Luara isn't confined to tradition. She blends Samba with funk, contemporary, and even hip-hop in some of her performances. Her creativity knows no bounds. She collaborates with costume designers to modernize parade looks, incorporating sustainability and Afrofuturist aesthetics. In 2023, she announced the launch of a docuseries on the hidden stories of Samba women. It features interviews with elder passistas, carnival historians, and new generation dancers. The project aims to preserve oral histories that are often overlooked in the glitz of the parade. She is also working on a Samba training app that will allow people worldwide to learn Samba no Pay with structured lessons, cultural context, and personalized feedback. Her dream is to open a physical Casa do Samba, a cultural center in Rio, where traditional music, costume making, dance, and storytelling come together. A space for tourists, locals, scholars, and future queens to study, perform, and connect with Samba's soul. The soul of the parade. On parade night, when the drums roar and the crowd rises, Luara becomes a storm of grace and power. Every eye is drawn to her. Her feet flutter like hummingbirds. Her hips guide the rhythm section. Her smile lights up the avenue. But what truly moves people is the way she connects. Eye contact, body language, the sheer joy of being alive and dancing for something bigger than herself. Spectators don't just see Samba, they feel it through her. Every step is a prayer, a celebration, a reminder. Every twirl carries the weight of history and the promise of the future.